Time now for sports on 104.7 The Cave. Here's Ned Reynolds.
Ned Reynolds, Mike the intern in the studio. Thursday morning, your thoughts on what happened at the Olympics yesterday?
It was a big day for the USA. Red, white, and blue can be very proud of what they've done. Of course, the medal count is still down. That's because many of the medals have yet to be decided. But the men's basketball team beat South Sudan 103-86. Now, the Sudanese team is the one that played the USA to 1 point in the exhibition game, 101-100, and probably should have won. But this time the USA came out, and they're not going to slog through. They played very tough. I'll tell you, the South Sudanese team, they're not. The problem is they don't have quite the depth, and you expect that with most of the team. This is the NBA you're playing against. The depth is not there, and that's what cost them, because they have some very good players.
They were gassed big time.
They're fast. They play deep. They're well coached. My goodness sake, Luol Deng and the other assistant coach on the team have done a great job. They've schooled them in how pro basketball should be played. And these young athletes, most of them college kids, one's the top recruit for Duke, another was an All-America at Baylor last year, another at Virginia, and one is a former Laker. They play well. They play well together. They just don't have the depth, and that's why the USA was able to pull away and win at 103-86. If this South Sudanese team, which has their big game Saturday, if they make it into the quarterfinal or knockout round, they'll give somebody a very tough time. Their big game Saturday, if they win, they play Serbia. And Serbia is not as good as USA, but they are pretty good. And they have big Nikola Jokic, the Denver Nuggets kid in there, and he's a rough animal to handle. Anyway, 103-86 was the final in this one. 1,500-meter freestyle gold medal, Katie Ledecky. Another big gold medal for her. USA women's soccer 2-1 over Australia, and it's on to the quarterfinals for them. Big upset in tennis. The U.S. men's double team, which is Rajiv Ram, who's a transplanted or expatriate from India and has been in this country most of his life, and his partner Austin Krajicek defeated Rafael Nadal and Carlos Alcaraz, and that's a big surprise in doubles. So indeed, anything can happen, and probably should. It's really been a fun Olympics.
It has been. Every day I watch something new. Last night watching the diving competition, and that little Chinese girl who can literally dive from that high up with no splash. I was trying to watch her hands and see how she does it. I don't have any idea. They were talking about creating a name for the technique she uses, and it's I'm not even going to try to say what it is, but it translates to no splash technique or something like that. It's unbelievable.
The less splash you make, the better off you are.
Yeah, and they were just, and I was the doubles, the synchronization. It's crazy. So much training. But you know what? The USA definitely reigns supreme when it comes to track and field for the most part. When does that stuff start heating up?
It starts today, and probably already has with some of the preliminary heat rounds to qualify. But it'll go from today until the Olympics closes on August the 11th. So indeed, we have a lot going on, and it should be fun. Also underway today is golf. And the golf competition has begun, and we're checking the leaderboard now. And a German player, Matthias Schmid, has the lead at 6 under par, and he's tied with Hideki Matsuyama from Japan, who is on the USA Tour. So is Schmid. Joaquin Niemann, the Chilean golfer who plays on the USA Tour, has had moderate success. He's 5 under par. And then you get down to the guys we know, Scotty Scheffler, who is 3 under par. So, and Ludwig Aberg, who has made a name for himself. He's a Norwegian who played at Oklahoma State. Don't you know that's a culture shock? Anyway, he is at 4 under and playing very well. But this is a star-studded group of golfers, international in scope, and they play 4 rounds. It'll all comes to a conclusion on Sunday. And Xander Schauffele from the USA is the reigning gold medalist. So this will be a lot of fun. We'll see what happens over the next several rounds.
Yeah, I wonder how the courses are over in France.
They're good. This is the French national course that they're playing on, so it's good quality golf.
I'm in the process of building everything for the upcoming Kansas City Chiefs season, but that also means college football is coming back very shortly.
It is. As a matter of fact, the first games, everybody ballyhoos the ones at late August and early September, but there are games before then, including August the 24th. And that's the first of the big games. Florida State will play Georgia Tech, and they will play them in Dublin, Ireland. It's that Irish Classic. Notre Dame played there last year. But that's fun. New Mexico, Montana State, Nevada Southern Methodist, and Hawaii, Delaware State. They're all games on August the 24th, so get ready because the college football landslide is about to begin.
How the Cardinals looked yesterday?
Well, they're playing well. Suddenly the offense, which has been slumbering much of the season, has come to life, and they buried the Texas Rangers 10-1 in the heat up in St. Louis. That was a day game yesterday. And how about the saga of Tommy Pham? His first at-bat for the Cardinals 2 nights ago hits a grand slam. Yesterday he was 3 for 4. Mike McGreevy, a former Springfield Cardinal, got his first Major League Baseball win. And hey, the Redbirds are rolling 10-1. They beat the Texas Rangers. Now the Cardinals play at Wrigley Field in Chicago tonight. It's a 4-game series. That's a big one because the Cubs and the Cardinals are division rivals, and this will be very interesting to see how it all works out.
Royals, for the first time in their series with the White Sox, didn't go in. For the first time against the White Sox, the Royals weren't losing. They actually started off this game in the winning position and kept it there.
They did. They did win and made it work, and the Royals pinned 17th straight defeat on the White Sox. This is just embarrassing. Final score was 10-3, and that's 17 straight losses. Now, I'm going back in the memory bank. I think the record is 22, and Philadelphia has that one back about 40, 50 years ago, somewhere along those lines. I'll check that one out. But indeed, the Royals get a 10-3 win. Vinny Pasquantino had 3 RBIs. Salvador Perez, 3 for 4. And 2 RBIs. Now the Royals continue their road trip tonight. They'll be at Comerica Park in Detroit to play the Detroit Tigers. That's a division game. Well, so is Chicago White Sox for that matter. And indeed, the Royals playing very well. Hey, they could sneak into the playoffs, but it's a long way still to go the rest of August and into September. Springfield Cardinals, they trailed the Tulsa Drillers 2-1 going into the top of the ninth down in Tulsa at One Oak Park. And then what the Cardinals do, scored 4 runs and won the game 5-2 over the Tulsa Drillers. That's what kind of a magic year this team is having, and they're pretty good, folks. And now after this series with Tulsa, they'll be coming back to Springfield for a series.
Yesterday, sitting around working on stuff to get an alert. Nick Bolton carted off the field at training camp, but don't freak out. It's just a precaution. He's, according to Coach Reed, doing okay, right?
It's an arm injury that he has, and at this time of the year, you have to be very careful. There were several other Chiefs who had the nicks and bumps and bruises, but the one of them that I found to be very significant was Kadarius Toney, injured. What else is new? He's been injured his entire career, but this time it isn't sneaking up on the Chiefs. And Andy Reid got him aside and said, okay, you've got an ankle injury here. You better rehab it, and when you do, you better be here at practice. You don't want to fall too far behind. That is a warning. It's putting this guy on notice that his circumstance with the Kansas City Chiefs is probably shaky. He was a liability last year, and I think Kansas City is kind of paving the way for him if he continues to, have these injuries and you can't play through them. You better shape up, buddy.
Better shape up, because I need a man. Ned, you have a great day, and I will see you on Friday.